You wake up, perform the daily rituals, and return to sleep. Yet there is a persistent sensation that a stranger is wearing your skin. You are a biological miracle, the result of ancestors who survived 1,000 deaths so you could stand here today. Yet you act like a clerical error, trapped in the mundane routines of the modern citizen. This weight you feel is the unlived life. It is the silent scream of potential you've traded away to maintain a fragile social equilibrium. By prioritizing social safety over authenticity, you have built yourself a house of glass, and now you sit inside, wondering why you feel so incredibly cold. This coldness is the direct result of a false diagnosis. You have been conditioned to believe that being a good person is synonymous with being harmless. To achieve this harmlessness, you actively repress your darker impulses. Your natural ambition, your aggression, and your deep-seated primal desires are shoved out of sight. Society treats these energies as pathologies to be cured, rather than fuel to be harnessed. So you lock them away, sitting quietly in a well-lit room, unaware that the room itself is a psychological cell. Discarding your aggressive traits in the name of goodness renders you completely defenseless against the inevitable tragedies of existence. The psychologist Carl Jung observed that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. He called this hidden territory the shadow. It serves as the repository of your repressed traits, holding the unrefined fuel of your psyche. Think of your mind like this skyscraper. You cannot build a massive structure without digging down into the deep earth to pour a foundation. If an architect ignores that dark foundation, the beautiful upper floors eventually fracture and collapse. Your personal darkness functions as the essential load-bearing pillar required to support your light. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl survived the ultimate deprivation of the concentration camps and realized that meaning is extracted manually from suffering and struggle. Friedrich Nietzsche issued a similar challenge through the concept of self-overcoming. This requires harnessing your raw primal power, rather than apologizing for your very existence. We mistakenly claim to be peaceful when we lack the capacity for violence. But if you cannot cause harm, you are merely harmless. True virtue belongs to the individual who possesses a deadly sword, but makes the conscious choice to keep it sheathed. Lacking the capacity for violence makes you a powerless victim, waiting for a tragedy you cannot fight off. To reclaim that sword, you have to execute the brutal honesty of Jungian integration. You must sit in the quiet of your mind and look directly at the parts of yourself you find loathsome. This process replaces the desperate need for external approval with an internal center of gravity that is unshakable. Logotherapy teaches that the will to meaning is our primary drive. If your life feels meaningless right now, it is because you have narrowed the definition of you to the point of suffocation. Reclaiming this dark territory transforms your repressed fears into the fuel for a life defined by its own internal meaning. Stop mourning the person society told you to be. Seek out a struggle that is worthy of your full potential. Access to a life of true power is reserved exclusively for those brave enough to integrate the dark.